What's up, everybody? Thank you for joining me for another episode of Quarantine Kitchen. Actually, today's not an episode, it's technically a quick fix, but same thing. It's a video. We're going to be making forgive me, I have a sugar-free candy in my mouth. And I couldn't be bothered to wait until after I was finished. So we are going to do something from a nutrition website today. And I'll tell you the story about this in just a minute. We're going to make a coconut brown rice pudding. So I have been trying to use up this stupid bag of brown rice literally since I bought it, which was like back in February. We're now in June. I've made rice milk. I've used it to make paella. I've used it to make, I don't like brown rice, as I have learned. So we're going to try to find a way to use it up well. Then the other inspiration for this dish, when you order from fast food restaurants here, in particular Burger King, and you order the kids meal, they will not give you a soda. For kids meals, they give you coconut water. And I have a lot of the coconut water. Why do I have kids meals? That's a question. I don't have children. But a kids meal is actually the proper portion size for fast food, just so you know. So it's a handy little tip in the weight loss world. So we're going to be using up my coconut water and some of the brown rice to make this dish. This is a gluten-free, dairy-free dish that we're going to make in a single pan. So let's get started. Whoop. Okay. And first, we're going to use 1 cup of this rice. I'm never going to finish this rice. Like, it's just. However, if this turns out to be good, we'll see. I like rice pudding, so we'll see. I'm optimistic. It is 1 cup of dry rice. I have double-checked this, by the way, because we all know how the disaster with the rice. Yes, it won't go away. We all know how the disaster with the rice milk went the first time. And then it's going to be 1 can of coconut milk. I don't have a can. I have a container. And 1 can is approximately 250 ml. And I don't have that either. So we're going to mix it up between almond milk and coconut milk. So I am going to measure this. Actually, I don't know why, because it just says 1 can. It doesn't actually say 250 ml, but using my common sense here. Oh, it is actually 1 cup. Okay. I'm going to put a tad bit, like a 1/4 cup of the almond milk in there, because this is going to cook for a long time and you want to make sure it has enough moisture. Okay. And then we're putting everything into a single pot except for the raisins. That's literally the only thing not going in. And then it's going to slow cook on my stove. If you were so inclined, you could do this in a slow cooker. That's actually what it calls for. And it also calls for 2 cups of water, but I'm doing coconut water instead. It's only going to use up 2 boxes. I'll make a half batch next time. Actually, what I'll do is, if this turns out good and it's worthwhile, when I make the recipe again, I will do half coconut water, half regular water. Because the recipe calls for regular water, so it's not like I'm breaking any cardinal rule here. I just wanted a reason to use up the coconut water because I think it's nasty to drink. So it's interesting. I'm putting all ingredients that I don't actually care for into a dish and hoping for a miracle that now I'll suddenly like them. That is the common sense of cooking. Okay. Then we're going to put, it calls for maple syrup. I'm going to use my honey substitute. And then it also calls for vanilla, cinnamon, and then raisins. And I forgot tablespoons. 2 tablespoons of maple syrup. Again, I'm using a honey substitute. That's all the sweetness that's going into this, which makes me a little nervous. But weirder things have happened before. And besides, if it's not sweet enough, when all the liquid is absorbed, you can always add more sweetener. I'm not optimistic though, because it's just not a lot of sweetness. Now, rice pudding isn't very sweet. It's not one of the sweeter puddings that we make, and I do know that. This is cinnamon, by the way. There's a measurement. 2 teaspoons. I'm just making a dust cloud of cinnamon over here. But y'all know how I feel about cinnamon, so. Cinnamon is going to give it some flavor. The vanilla is going to give it some flavor. And then we will add more of these at the end if it needs it. So, and then it is 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And then the only other thing left is the raisins. So we're going to stir this, and we're going to cook it on low heat until the liquid is absorbed. If you want to do this in a slow cooker, which is what it recommends, it says cook on low for 3.5 hours. I'm cooking this on my stove. It will not take 3.5 hours. It'll take some time, but it's not going to take 3.5 hours. The reason we're cooking it on low is because you don't necessarily want it to boil the way you would if you were making like a rice side dish. Cooking it on low allows the rice to break down a little bit more, and it makes it become kind of mushy, which is the consistency we're looking for in a pudding. So this is going to go on the stove, and when all the liquid is absorbed, then we will season as necessary and mix in the raisins. It's very simple. So yeah, that's it. All right, I will see you when this is finished. It's finished. So this is what it looks like rice. I mean, I'm showing you what rice looks like. It's a little gummier than normal rice, but that's expected. It's a rice pudding. So now we're going to add in the raisins and some more seasoning depending on what it tastes like. I have not tasted it yet. So we'll see. 1/2 cup of raisins is what we're aiming for today. All over the counter. That's the way to go. Yay! The goal is to have enough raisins left over to make this twice to use up that rice. It won't go away, guys. It just is not going away. Like when you make those no, I won't throw it out, and they won't accept it because it's open as a donation. So, okay. Alrighty, and look, we got plenty raisins left over. So hopefully this will work out, and this will be a recipe that I want to use more than once, and life will be good. That's the thing. I love raisins. Am I the only person in the world that loves raisins? I mean, I can't be the only one, but like oatmeal raisin, top favorite cookie. Next to like snickerdoodles. Chocolate chip is overrated. I mean, it's a classic. If you hand me a chocolate chip cookie, I won't be like, ugh. Unless it has walnuts in it. If it has walnuts in it, all bets are off. Yuck. Walnuts don't belong in cooking. I'm sorry. You're wrong. I don't like nuts in my cooking. Okay. Now, I'm going to get a series of... You know what? This is my cooking. I'm going to eat it however I want to eat it. We're going to try it and see where we are with seasoning here. Surprisingly, it's actually a very good sweetness. I don't feel like I was afraid I was going to have to add more. I don't think so. I am going to add a touch more cinnamon and a touch more vanilla. Because I love cinnamon and vanilla. But I was afraid I was going to have to add more sugar. And I'm just making a cloud of cinnamon. Like, I miss the shakers from America. I really do. All right, and just probably another teaspoon of vanilla. Now, a portion size of this, it depends. It makes 4 cups, theoretically. I'm going to call a personal portion size to be about a 1/2 cup, and I punched in the calories. That would be about 130 calories per 1/2 cup of this delectable thing, which will be fine because Lord knows I didn't check how many carbs are in it. It's all carb. Like, it's all carb. So there we go. Voila, you have your coconut, and it doesn't taste like coconut, which is very surprising. I don't actually care for the taste of coconut, especially not coconut water. Occasionally I do, but in general it's not a flavor I go after. So I'm going to try it now. That's about as perfect as it could get, actually. All right, so play with the seasonings as you like. You can add shredded coconut. Someone recommended that. But anyway, there you go. There is a dessert with minimal ingredients and leftovers. Yay! All right, everybody. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Happy cooking.